Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader. Today I will be reading Zimbi by Surina Nel. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I have included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my daughter, Armin, and to my 3 boys, Ruhan, Lawrence, and Michael. I want to say a special thank you to my friend, Jaron Jacob, for his support and friendship. Without you, infallible belief in me, this would not be possible. Chapter 1. Legs, neatly booted in black leather boots, walks past. The boots perfectly camouflaged against the dark legs. Bright purple trimmings on white boots on gray legs moves in sync with the black legs. Dust rises where the hooves touch and lifts off the ground. The riders chat indistinctly as they ride past. In the background, a little white foal runs back and forth like a kid in a candy store. Zimbi stops for a while. A smile plays on his lips, exposing 2 big front teeth. He looks around, his eyes scanning through the hordes of horses, then runs further to continue his search. He reaches a well-set, gray, Welsh pony mare with big apple bums and legs that seems a little too short. Zimbi's mom looks up from her feeding bin and smiles at Zimbi lovingly. Zimbi stretches his little neck to see better. His fluffy mane is playing in the slight breeze. A blue eye becomes apparent as he turns to look at more oncoming horses. "What are you looking for, Zimbi?" Zimbi's mom asks as she looks up from her blue feeding bin. She chases a fly from her shoulder, her white head in sharp contrast with her bushy gray mane. "I'm hoping to see Caesar," Zimbi says, his eyes still scanning the horses passing his paddock. Confusion is written across her face as she looks at Zimbi. "Caesar? Who is Caesar?" Melodramatic Zimbi rolls his eyes at his mother's ignorance. He shakes his head slowly, his ears drooping. He takes a calming breath before he speaks. "Caesar, Ma. Everyone knows who Caesar is. He is just like the coolest dude ever." Not giving his mom chance to answer, he runs to the top corner of the paddock and pokes his head through the fence, hoping to see Caesar. He looks to his left and sees nothing. When he looks to the right, his view is obscured by something big. Wide-eyed, he looks up to see what it is. He gasps for breath. Stepping back to get a better view, he trips and lands on his behind in a cloud of dust. While the dust settles, Caesar, a handsome, big bay Irish draught stallion, extends his head over the fence. Zimbi shakes his head. He looks at the blue ear covers, the diamond-studded brow band, the white blaze running down the length of his handsome face. Admiration fills his eyes when he recognizes Caesar and shrieks in excitement, while stomping his little hooves on the ground. "It's you! It's really you! I can't believe it! I, the one and only lad. You have obviously heard about me." Caesar responds, a tone of arrogance clearly detected in his deep voice. Zimbi nods, starstruck. "Of course I have. You are my hero." Zimbi gets up on his lanky legs, stomping around looking at Caesar with admiration. "When I grow up, I want to be just like you." "Splendid, laddie, splendid. Better get practicing then. It is a lot of hard work." A smirk creeps onto his face as he looks down at Zimbi, his little pointy ears focused on Caesar. "Looks like you'll have to learn to use those legs properly first. Can't jump if you can't walk." Caesar's rider gathers the reins. "Well, lad, I got to go. Take care of yourself. I'll be seeing you around." Big-eyed Zimbi nods, the only response he can muster as he battles to find the right words. Zimbi struggles to his feet, his eyes glued to Caesar. A big smile runs across his face. His big front teeth glint in the sun. "And, laddie, don't forget to believe in yourself," Caesar calls over his shoulder and winks at Zimbi as he trots off, when his rider guides him in the direction of the warm-up arena. Zimbi opens and closes his mouth like a gaping fish for air, wanting to say something, but then thinking better of it when Caesar trots off. He shouts after Caesar, "Wait, what do you mean?" Zimbi asks, confused as to what exactly Caesar meant, but Caesar trots on, unable to hear the tiny voice through the bustle of horses and sounds. Eager to share the experience, Zimbi runs back to his mom, who is peacefully eating from her feeding bin, her tail swishing at the pestering flies. He trips over his lanky legs, tumbles head over heels, and comes to a stop in a cloud of dust. Gets up on his lanky legs and shakes his body. A dust cloud arises. 2 sneezes follow in succession. Zimbi's mom laughs. "Bless you, Zimbi." "Thanks, Mom." Zimbi prances around his mom. "I saw Caesar. He spoke to me. He said if I practice, I can be like him." Mom looks at Zimbi, her left eyebrow lifts in doubt, exposing her blue eye. "Did he know?" she asks rhetorically. Zimbi looks as more horses walks past the paddock. "They are so cool. When I grow up, I want to be just like them, a show horse." Zimbi's mom shakes her head in dismay before correcting Zimbi. "You'll never be a horse, Zimbi. To be a horse, you need to be 14 hands high. We are Welsh ponies. We don't grow that tall. You'll be lucky if you grow to 12 hands high." She takes another bite of food and chews slowly before she speaks. "You can be a show pony, though." Zimbi nods his head, contemplating what his mother just shared. "Do they like jumping, Mom?" he asks, his eyes not moving from the horses walking by. "Some of them do, Zimbi, but most of them do it just because their riders expect them to." She answers and takes another bite of food from her feeding bin. She chews slowly. "They look happy," he utters as he watches a rider pat her horse's neck. Zimbi's mom swallows the food she was chewing before she speaks again. "Things aren't always as it seems, Zimbi. You have to remember that." Zimbi's attention goes back to the horses walking past. He looks at the riders on their backs, dressed in white jodhpurs and black jackets with shiny buttons. "Holy horses! Look how shiny those buttons are!" he calls out without intent. "Zimbi, your language!" scolds Mom. Lovingly, Zimbi lowers his head. He looks guilty. "I am sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to. I just got excited." Zimbi's mom smiles tenderly and looks at Zimbi, unable to contain his excitement. He takes off and races along the fence to the top corner of the paddock. He stops, whines, and runs back to his mother again. "I'm going to watch the show," Zimbi says as he takes 2 quick bites of alfalfa, the fluffy little tail swishing. He chews and swallows quickly. Then he runs to the other side of the paddock again to watch the horses jump the beautifully decorated course. A big chestnut horse, smartly dressed in a brown saddle, white numna, a bridle with decorated brow band and ear cover, starts his round. He clears the first 3 jumps effortless. At the triple bar, at number 4, he drops his feet too quick and trips the pole, which bounces but stays in the cup. He clears the round after 6 more clear jumps. A gray mare with purple trimmings on her bridle, saddle, and boots is jumping next. She clears the first 5 jumps easily. At number 6, on the spread, the mare refuses, spooked by the decorations on either side of the jump. Edna, a 13-year-old girl with brown hair and a plait hanging down her back, clings onto the saddle to prevent a fall. She recovers quickly, turns the mare around, and pats her neck gently. "Come on, girl. You can do this," Edna begs the big gray mare. They turn and go for the spread again, but the mare refuses a second time. Edna pats her horse's neck. She looks determined. "Come on, girl. Do this for me, please." She pats the horse's neck and asks her to jump. The gray mare jumps. She drops her hind legs too quick and touches the back pole. It tumbles to the ground. They clear the rest of the round. Zimbi watches the classy riders and their horses motionless. He imagines himself as a show jumper, competing and clearing his round before racing across the finish line. The crowd cheers loudly. The sound of the ringing bell brings him back to the present. Next to jump is Caesar, the big bay gelding. He starts his round and sails effortlessly across all the jumps to finish with a faultless, clear round. The crowd cheers loudly. His rider leans forward and praises him excitedly. They leave the arena ecstatic about their performance. Zimbi takes a break to run to his mom. As he runs, he lowers his head and bucks. He looks up too late and runs into Mom's behind. Her head flies up, her eyes stretched wide, open in shock. "Zimbi," she scolds in shock. "Be careful, baby." Zimbi chuckles. "I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't stop. I was jumping, just like Caesar. Did you see him jump? Did you?" He babbles excitedly. Zimbi takes a quick bite of alfalfa from the feeding bin. He chews and swallows quickly. "I saw Zimbi," she answered patiently, a warm smile on her face. A voice over the loudspeaker calls the horses for the jump-off. Zimbi takes another mouthful alfalfa. "I should go. I don't want to miss the jump-off." He runs off before Mom can scold him for speaking with his mouth full. Excitedly, he finds it hard to stand still, but forces himself as he doesn't want to miss not a single moment. In the arena, the jump-off starts. A chestnut mare with a white blaze mane plaited in neat little balls is going first. Her rider looks confident. The bell sounds and they begin their round and clear the first 2 jumps easily. They take a short turn behind the triple bar, but come in at too much of an angle for the next jump. The mare sees they won't make it and runs out. They turn in a small tight circle, lines up correctly, and clears the last 2 jumps in good time. A wealth of emotion plays across Zimbi's face as he watches the horses jump one at a time. He utters words of encouragement as they go. The voice over the loudspeaker calls for Caesar and his rider. Zimbi stretches his neck in anticipation. He does not want to miss a second of this round. Caesar starts at the sound of the bell. He starts with a gallop, racing to the first jump and jumps it carefully, then races to the next, careful not to touch any poles. He clears his jumps one after the other before they race across the finish line with the winning time. The rider leans forward and throws her arms around his neck, praising Caesar for a perfect performance. Zimbi watches this with admiration. I hope one day my rider will love me like that, he utters to himself as he continues to watch. Stay tuned for Chapter 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book.